Hello? Okay, there it goes. Oh yeah, sorry. I don't know what's going on. I got good news and bad news. Good news, I was able to get my second, external hard drive to start moving over some of the memory, which I thought would fix the problem, which it kind of, in a way, did, because now there's more memories, I can store more things, everything's not just stuck on the computer's memory, and then the first one I had, which was kind of already full up with like basic, pretty much all my YouTuber stuff on it. So I figured I'd use that one for like extra stuff, putting games on and whatnot. And I had everything up, ready to go, loaded. I was just having to pull the actual game up. But as soon as I did that, and as soon as I tried to stream, everything just like said, everything started crashing, everything started shutting down. I, for whatever reason, I can't click things on my second screen. I don't know what's going on. So can I even pull up? You know what? Just, literally, this thing won't. Like, I can't click anything on this screen. I don't know. And honestly, I was probably half wondering if I should just cancel today's stream. One, because this is something my job did. It's basically I was supposed to work yesterday. That's kind of why Sunday I wasn't on the schedule I posted. I wasn't supposed to have a stream, and I was supposed to stream today and tomorrow, because I had those days off. But whatever they had planned, that Sunday got canceled. They didn't need it anymore, and didn't have the need to do it anymore. So they contacted me, was like hours before. So luckily I wasn't like up and ready in the car, ready to drive over. They literally texted me. It was like, hey, well, what we had planned was canceled. No need for it. So you can just, stay home. You're off. You'll have the rest. You pretty much have the night off. I was like, okay, cool. So I'm thinking, yay, I have excuse me. And that's kind of another thing. I was like, oh yay, I have tomorrow. I'll have, pretty much the rest of Sunday. And I'll have Monday and Tuesday off. I was like, oh cool, I'll have 3 days off. Freaking sweet. And then like pretty much the app they use to like send out the schedules and like keep us updated. I got an update notification of them removing, that Sunday schedule. So I was like, okay, cool, no problem. I wake up. Well, wake up's not really the right words. I was sneezing pretty much all day Sunday, and it got really bad towards like the night. I literally woke up at one point and was just sneezing like every couple of minutes. I didn't know what to do. I had a seemed like I had gotten a cold or I gotten sick or something. Cause yeah, literally I was just sneezing. I had to keep a rag near me, just like every few minutes I was sneeze, I had to blow my nose. It was crazy. It was a lot. At one point, I don't know it's with me. I don't know how this is for other people, but when I get sick, I have to like keep myself like really, really warm, like bundled up, like to the point like I'm like sweating, and that really helps in decrease, like helping me kind of get through colds faster. So basically, what I did was I literally took a heating pad, an extra heating pad that my mom gave me that she wasn't using because she has her own. She had like an extra one. Um, gave it to me like almost like 2 years ago. So I keep it in my room just in case ever I need it. I decided, you know what? Let me use this. See if I can kind of warm myself up. Give me that thing I need give to warm myself up. And yeah, so I like stuck it under my pillow. Cause one, you definitely gotta be careful with that because I know someone who accidentally slept on theirs while it was still on, and luckily it didn't burn them, but it did to a point like made like a patch to like kind of like burn like the surface of their skin, so all you saw was like a little patch of white. So that's I was like, yeah, no, you gotta be careful. Make sure you don't accidentally sleep on it. And I think with them they had it on high too, so like if you do somehow accidentally fall asleep, make sure it's not on high. But what I do is I don't have it on me directly. I normally like stuff it in a pillow, So that way, most of the heat, I can still feel like the heat and whatnot from it, but the actual like pad, the heating pad itself, isn't on me. So I literally stuffed it in the pillow, had it over my head, and I just did that. And I ended up falling asleep for a little bit. But then by that point, it was like maybe like 7 or 8 in the morning. I'm here trying to do this, trying to figure out a way to get me back to normal. Had to wake up even early again because I had to drop my brother off to work. At that point, I'm thinking, well, I have the rest of the day off. I'll just come back, relax, maybe make me some noodles, drink me some soup. Um, also kind of saw an opportunity to go to Publix real quick, grab me some orange juice, and also grab me this thing that someone not taught me, but showed me what I can get whenever I remember one time I had like gone to work and I had like a little bit of a cough. It wasn't serious, but it was, you know, it was something. And she was like, "Oh, they have these things in this store in the Publix." So we literally had like a Publix near us. Here we go. It's this one. Well, this is Target, but hold on, let me show my. Yeah, so it's this. She was like, "Oh," she literally like showed me a picture. She was like, "Try to find this in the store, and it will it will help you." Basically, it's like like an immunity shot, and they come in like different flavors. So, but she was like, try to find one that's ginger. She said that one's really good. Hello, Ghost Body. Hello. Yeah, I was trying to do some more Wuthering Waves, but the way this thing is acting, and plus the fact that I'm kind of still getting over being sick the last 2 days, I think I'll just maybe keep this like I was gonna keep it a short stream anyways, but by the fact that this is, for whatever reason, the game's not working, and everything's just, I can't. Yeah, I am fully better, and I would say it's normally, I would say definitely is thanks to this. Um, um, she was like, "Oh, try to find this. Try to find the one that's ginger. Take it." She's like, "Do be careful. If you're not someone who's good with spice and whatnot." Is OBS in admin mode? I don't know. Let me. Where would I go to find that? Because a bunch of games have been having that issue recently. Oh, really? Okay, so maybe it's not. Cause I thought about it. I've only ever had this problem when I'm trying to do Wuthering Waves. When I'm doing Devil May Cry, I've never had any issues popping into that game and starting it up and whatnot. So you know what? I didn't even think of that. Thank you for bringing that up. It literally just came to me. I was like, wait a minute. That would basically would require a restart of stream. I have issues with it with Marvel Rivals. Ah, maybe it's just those type of games, I guess. But yeah, okay. So I'm not just over here going completely cuckoo crazy. It could be just whatever this thing is. Okay, possibly. I'll do some more looking into once I'm feeling a little bit more better and figuring out what the heck why this is doing this, because literally I feel like it's a mission to get this dang game on. But yeah, so she was like, try to find this, it's really good. She said, do be careful, it is, cause whatever I guess it's in it and whatnot, when you drink it, it kind of goes down really spicy, and you'll feel it in your chest. But she's like, that's how you know it's working. So I took it that one time she showed me. I found it. I was like, oh, this must be it. Literally the exact same picture of this. And I, excuse me. I immediately took it, and I was like, literally the next day I was gone. Cough was gone. And I was like, oh my god, this thing actually works. So, I'm gonna change my just put it on to just chatting. Trying to do more other ways, but I just chat for the night. Alright, So update stream. Just wait, no one thinks someone comes in and it's like, wait, I thought it was supposed to be Wuthering Waves. Yeah, I was trying to, but that didn't turn out well. So let me update YouTube as well. Yep. So after this, and literally, ever since then, I've always tried to remember what it looks. I mean, I can go pretty much into the store and I'll immediately see it. But whenever I do try to like recommend it to someone, I remember I recommended it to one of my old like leads in my previous job. Like one time she had gotten like really sick. Like I think at one point it had like not whatever she had caught. Like I'm not sure if it was COVID. Like by that time, like COVID had came back kind of sort of, and people were catching it and getting sick. I think it was. I think she was literally out for like almost like 2 weeks, and when she came back, she was a little better, but her voice was like really so like you could tell like if she was still like sick. So I literally looked this up and I sent it to her. And I told her, I was like, someone told me about these, and I take them anytime I'm feeling sick or I'm about to feel sick. And I started feeling better by like the next day. But of course, I do warn her how the other person warned me. I'm like, it is really spicy, kind of going down your throat. Kind of like if you ate like a bunch of really like hot, spicy wings, something like that. But if you're okay with that, if you could someone who can deal with that, this will definitely help. And I was like, make sure you find the ginger one, because that's the one that was recommended to me. And I think she took it, and then she told me the next day, she was like, oh my god, I do feel a little bit more better. Like she wasn't 100%, but she was definitely had more energy. So I can't remember the person. This literally when they showed me this was like around the time like COVID was about, like it was like maybe a month or two before COVID had started, and that's when back in when companies were like shutting down their places, people had to work from home in in certain places, and then by the time we came back, a lot of people either quit, found other jobs, probably found some remote jobs that they could do from home, just in case. But I'll never forget it. So anytime I'm sick, I always remember this immediately. And I try to go to the store and grab like two. And that's literally what I did this morning. After dropping my brother off, I literally ran into the store, grabbed me some orange juice. I grabbed me two of these. I grabbed me a pack of noodles. And yeah, pretty much it was gonna be. I was gonna drink those and just kind of like relax, chill for the rest of the day, because I was planning to come on here and stream. But then I get a text from one of my leads from work, and she was like, "Hey, when are you? How far out are you?" And I'm like, "Far out? Far out for what?" She was like, "Oh, you were supposed to be scheduled." I was like, "No." I mean, last I checked a couple of days ago, it told me I was supposed to be off today and tomorrow. I was like, hold up. I was like, I even write it down and put it on my fridge just in case, whenever I'm like rushing or just so that anyone in the house knows, okay, Brianna's gonna be off on the, well, Shauna, it's gonna be off these days, and so we can like maybe work some things out. So I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, no, 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 I was supposed to be off. And then I go and I look, and it looks like when they removed the Sunday schedule since they didn't need anymore, looks like it updated and they put me in for today. But I didn't get the update, so I didn't know. So immediately I look and I was like, wait a minute, that wasn't there like a day or two ago. Or I'm like, no, it literally wasn't there like a day ago. So what, like what? So I'm like, okay, luckily it was home. So I literally told her, I was like, okay, I'll be there as soon as I possibly can. By then it was already past like 5. So by the time I got there, it was like, plus traffic, it was like almost 6. And then when I told her, I was like, yeah, literally like the day before I checked and like I wasn't scheduled. So I'm like, nah, that must have like just been added. And she was like, you know what? They probably since they removed you from the Sunday, they wanted to give you hours, so they put you in for the next day. But for whatever reason, it didn't update you. But she was like, no problem. It's like, thank you for still coming in. But I was like, yeah. I was like, I got the update that the Sunday schedule was removed, but I didn't get no update of a new date being added. So she was like, okay, I'll let them know that that's what happened. So there's no misunderstandings. But she was and then I literally, as I'm leaving, I'm like, I'm double checking, making sure they don't put me in for more hours tomorrow, or because I was supposed to have today off. I had Sunday. I was supposed to have the day off, but ended up going. Luckily, I was just really just going into clothes. So it wasn't like super, and plus we didn't have anything like major to change about the store, so it's really was just fixing up and being out of there. Literally left like before it was even like, cause we, where I work is in a mall and they close at 8. Literally, we were out in like almost 30 minutes. So, yeah, I'm literally looking now and I have nothing. They better not add me anything, cause after that, I'm supposed to work the next 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday. That's why on the schedule I posted, I wouldn't be streaming Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe, depending. I don't miss those days. I really don't. That's why my previous job, I liked that because it was like, pretty much it was a set schedule. It was like Monday through Friday, you work from these hours to these hours, and the other days you had off. But if you wanted to come in, that would be overtime, and they always had to offer it. You couldn't just come in when you wanted to. It was something you kind of had to like sign up, and it was like limited space. So that's the one thing I did miss. I do miss about my previous job, was that pretty much it was like a set schedule. These are your days, and if you can come in for extra days, you can. Only one, it had to be like available. You had to be like signed up for it, so that way they can like document it properly. Make sure you got your extra hours. And I was gonna say something else and I forgot. uh oh, and it wasn't required, like, so, and they couldn't like. I mean, you could, because I've never heard people being like, oh, they switched days if something happened. I never did that, so I normally just worked my usual schedule. So any days I had off were my days off. So, and speaking of that, oh my god, it's been so hard. Luckily, from what I've heard, it's not just me. I've heard other people are having trouble trying to find any type of like full-time position. I applied to like 2 other places like a month and a half ago. They finally got back to me like last week, both pretty much saying that the positions were already like placed. Those job titles weren't available anymore, but they would keep me updated if anything else came up that was similar or whatnot, or maybe the position opened up again later on. But I was like, oh my god. So yeah, yeah, the market is ass job wise right now. It really is. Like, they say they have all these jobs out here, people, but like I can't. I kid you not. I've been applying to so many places, like it's ridiculous. And there was one place that contacted me like right away. I did the interview like a couple of days later, and they seemed like they were interested in having me, and then I never got a response back. Not even like, oh, maybe they went with someone else, or maybe the position was filled, or maybe they didn't need the position available anymore. Nothing. And it's been like maybe 3 months, and I was like, you know what, that's really unprofessional. Because it's like, you had all that, deleted like well, it wasn't even like a Zoom meeting. It was something called like Microsoft Office or something that I guess they use for like their quote unquote Zoom meetings. And yeah, and after that, they said I was supposed to hear something like 24 or 48 hours. Literally, like a whole month went by. Nothing. Checked my email every single day. Nothing. And not even like a call, nothing. So I was like, you know what? And yet they wonder why. And yet they wonder why people are acting like the way they do. Because, that's another thing. People are getting these jobs. People are getting like these jobs and positions, but then people are wilding. People are doing like the most. Um, and it's like clearly you must be good for money, and you must have like everything covered, your bills and whatnot. You got no worries no worries or cares in the world, because there's no way like you're relying on the money from this position, even if it's just to have extra money for something, and you're here acting like this, doing the most, giving people attitude. You saw that siren too? Office siren? What's that? I forgot I still had that up. But yeah, like literally, I went in and they were. I don't want to give out any names, but basically, it seems like there was like two people that one I've seen like every once in a while. I think they have like a full time position, so they only come on days when they can, which is maybe 2 days out of the week, and that's not even like every week. That's like when they're available. So like month wise, maybe I'll see them like twice. And then there's one person who's supposed to come like every Sunday, but then they're like, nah, I thought that's what you were talking about. But yeah, lots of people who don't give a shit, but somehow get the job. Somehow get the job and still kind of somehow keep it. Literally in my, in where I'm working now, they've fired like, there was, no, one girl they did fire because she was calling out every day. She wasn't giving them enough notice so that they can have someone come cover. Um, I don't think she was leaving early, which I can't really do that. At least not here, unless someone tells you to leave early. Well, that's one why I was another person who quit. One person quit. I guess didn't like the way the manager or the store manager was talking to them. Just went in, clocked out, and just left. I'm just like, and they weren't even there for that long. Maybe like 3 weeks, maybe. And it wasn't even like they were working every single day. Like I saw them maybe like 2 or 3 times, and then they just like never showed up again. And I was like, hey, what happened to so and so? They're like, oh, she quit. And I was like, what? They was like, oh yeah, it was a big thing. She had an attitude. She wasn't and this and that. I was like, what? I was like, what is wrong with people? How do you go through the whole process of getting this job? You get it. What did you think was gonna happen? You were just gonna just sit in a corner and be on your phone the whole time, or just be checking out your makeup or be chatting on the phone? Like, no, that's not what this job pays, and I'm sure 9 out of 10 they told you that. So why are you coming in here doing pretty much the exact opposite of what they've told you? And but then you want to get an attitude, you want to get mad, and you feel like you're being disrespected. Why the hell are you here? Why did you apply to this job if you're gonna just sit around and bullshit and then expect to get your pay every 2 weeks or every week, depending on you how the company pays people out. Even at my and this is part time what I'm talking about, but even when I had a full time position, like I knew a lot of people who were like that were not doing what they were supposed to, not in their station. They were just out somewhere else, where they were chilling in the bathroom, chilling in the break room, chilling at someone else's station when they should have been watching theirs, chatting up storm, being loud and just being obnoxious. And if anyone said anything to them, oh, it was an issue. They were being disrespected, and it's like, but you're coming here and you're not doing what you're supposed to, but then you want a paycheck of however many hours maybe you worked that week. But you weren't really working, you were just walking around bullshitting and was maybe even causing extra work who for the people who are unfortunate to have your position or be in your shift with you. Like I remember at my previous job before they like switched over we all transitioned over to working from home those couple of months. Yeah, there was just one group. It was like a girl and a guy. I don't know if they were family, friends, but I hated working with them because that's exactly what they did. They never were in their stations doing what they were supposed to. They weren't watching what they were supposed to be watching, making sure things were being done correctly. They were just one was in the other station just chatting away for the last like and that was like a 10-hour shift. So imagine someone's supposed to be doing what they're supposed to be in their station for 10 hours. You think they're doing that. You turn around, they're in someone else's area, chatting away, doing all this. You go to their station, it's a hot mess. And now you gotta do extra work because that person just figured that, well, I'm not gonna do that today. and it's just like, what? And then I think at one point, I think they had like quit. Either they quit or they got fired like right before the whole COVID thing. And I was just like, hallelujah. Plus, they were also like, what's the word? Obnoxiously loud. Like, like they were the only people in the room or in the area, so they could be as loud and as they wanted. It's like, no, shut the hell up. There are other people here who maybe just want some peace and quiet, but you're here chatting away and like, shut up and go do your work. Oh my god, that drives me nuts. I was like, I don't know how these people, it's crazy. So someone, I mean, people said it to me that I have a pretty good worth ethic. So when I see people who do like the total opposite, I'm just looking like, what the hell? I'm like, why? What is why would you do this? Why would you act like that? I don't understand. But I don't know. I guess it's a good thing I don't think like them, because I would not be able to, because I'd be like, what the fudge? But yeah, that's kind of it. Well, I haven't been doing anything else. Oh well, I've been watching the anime for the podcast episode coming up, for Sunday. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm sure you guys see it here, either it's Twitch or YouTube. I was able to update my banner. I've been doing some stuff. I've been doing some stuff. Uh, pretty much when I got the new thing to like move some memory around, I was like, you know what? I want to change the banner that's in the back, both on my YouTube and Twitch. I was like, I mean, I had just made that one myself, just so I could have something in the back. But I wanted to make something a bit more, cute, or something close to the pretty much of me. So I know Twitch. Hold on, let me get out of this. Let me go to my channel. I'm sure if you go to my thing, it shows you. Whoops. That's not what I meant to click on. Well, I don't think it's going to show it because I think I'm live, but I'll go to my YouTube. It's pretty much the same image. Did I click on it? Yep. So yeah. So basically, I've been using this website. I don't know. I forgot how I found it. But it's hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Actually, I need to click on it so I can get my my free credit. It's Pix AI, an AI art generator. Let me pull up the website. Yeah, so I've been using this to make a lot of the, god dang it, to make a lot of the images I use for like my thumbnails, and pretty much what I use for the background for the banner on the YouTube and Twitch. Cause I was just like, I want to change it up. I want it to look different. And one, I don't have the money to be paying anyone to be doing that right now. So I was like, no, there's got to be a way that maybe I could do it. And yeah, I've just been using that. So the uh the image of me in the thumbnail over on YouTube, of me wearing the uniform or the outfit that my character wears in Wuthering Waves, yeah, that was AI generated from that website. I just put my like image of my VTube studio as like a character reference. I just picked what type of design I wanted the model to be, and just some added features to it, and boom, it made it just like that. So I've done it with a bunch. So as you saw, I had one, the first one at the very end. Here, let me pull it up again. So this one right here, this one, it's kind of like a chibi version of me and the Sailor Moon design. This one, you can't really see. I believe this one was supposed to be ninja. This one was just I think it's supposed to be a cherry blossom theme, which is funny because it is cherry blossom season now. So, that's why I kind of went back to my original starting scene. And then the other one was just the one I just created with like just me as a reference. Nothing really extra added on. But I was like, oh, this is so cool, so cute, and I just wanted to change it up and make something different. So yes, excuse me one sec. And I've got Excuse me. I had to drink me some more orange juice. I literally got me a little bottle of orange juice right here. Just in case, because, like I said, I'm feeling a little better, especially after taking those immunity shots. But I definitely am not trying to, be late because it might be fine tonight. But then I wake up and I'm stuffy, I'm coughing, I'm the whatever. Normally, like I said, after I take those shots, I'm normally good by like the next day. And since I did get called into work, I bought two. So as I was leaving, I literally just chugged the other one just in case. I didn't. By that point, after I taken the first one, I hadn't really sneezed. I think I sneezed like maybe once or twice after taking the first one. 'Cause literally, as soon as I got in the car, I literally took the first one and then headed home. But the second one, yeah, I took the second one as I was heading off. Because one, I was actually gonna save that one for tomorrow. But which I guess I didn't really need to because there was one that was like really dead when I went there, which is like, well, yeah, it's a Monday, but I went only because I didn't want the person who was there to be there by themselves. Because, it is a small store, so they normally only have like up to two people closing on like a normal day. So I didn't want to leave the person who was closing to be by themselves. Which is actually was a good thing because this never fails. There's always people showing up at literally like a minute or two before you're trying to lock up that want to run in and buy what they want. It's like, especially since one you're in a mall, so it's like you had time to come over here and grab the stuff. Why would you wait like 2 minutes before one the mall is closing and before we are trying to lock up our area that you want to run in, grab a bag, and want us to do some heavy shopping? Like, come on now. So, luckily, like I said, with us two of us, the other person was able to just focus on, helping them as fast as they could, ringing them up so we can get them out of there. And I helped in, closing up the gates, making sure everything was locked, ready to go. So as soon as the people was ready, let them out, closed the doors right behind us. Uh, at that point, I was already running around trying to get as much as the store fixed as I possibly could. So it was more just looking over, make sure everything was still mostly in place, that it was fixing up the last bit of area that I did not get to touch, taking out the garbage, and yeah, after that, we were pretty much done. Like I said, we were literally out, we were done, out, money counted, well, whatnot, in less than 30 minutes, because by the time we clocked out, it was like maybe 2 minutes to 8:30, so I was like, yeah, which was kind of the plan. I'm like, I want to be as out as soon as freaking possible, because I wasn't even supposed to be here today, but y'all added me, and luckily the person contacted me, or they would have been sitting there looking crazy, trying to close up in the store by themselves. But I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have just left them to close up by themselves. Which is funny, because I've heard some places do that. That, I think depending on the store and depending on, I think, the size, they'll only have, like, one person throughout the whole store, and I'm like, what? Yeah, like, one of my leads told me that her previous job, like, after a certain point, it was, like, sometimes just her in the store. I'm like, nah, that's wild. I'm like, at least here, there's at least two people so someone can, like, cover, can cover each other. Yeah, I had to do that a lot. Really? So this is a common thing. That is crazy. I never knew that. Literally like all my other jobs. Well, actually there was one that which was crazy. I never liked that. Um that was always trying to they after a certain point, and if you had to poop, you just have to close the store for a bit. That's crazy. That's wild. But now I'm thinking about it. One job I did, but luckily it didn't affect me. It affected someone else, and I always kind of felt bad for them. So I kind of always ended up staying like an extra, extra like 30 minutes, just in case. Because look, one, I didn't live that far. I was literally like a 5 minute walk from where the place where I was working at. So literally, it was like a 5 minute walk, 2 minute car drive to where I was. But when it was always like the last hour, they always only wanted like one person in the store. Mind you, the inside of the store was closed, and it was just they were doing the drive through for like they wanted them to do the drive through for the last like hour. And when I saw that was like a common thing, I was like, wait a minute. So I'm like, if so, it's just you in here, right? For like the last like hour. And they were like, yeah, it's just me. I'm like, no, that is what? I was like, nah, that's crazy. I was like, one, you don't know who could be coming. I'm like, yeah, you kind of got the store closed, but people are crazy. People are wild. And I think at one point something had like happened, like a crime had happened nearby. Anything to say payroll. That's all it really is. Anything to say payroll. I'm like, no, no, no. I'm like, that is not safe. That is not safe at all. Oh, excuse me. And at one point, something had like happened in the area to where like police were getting involved, and it was crazy. There people saying there was like a body was found somewhere nearby. After that, I was like, oh hell no, nah. We need to talk to whoever's in charge and be like, listen, you need to have at least two people closing at all times. You cannot just be having one person up in the store by themselves. That is crazy. It's like one we live by a bunch of houses, like a it was like a kind of small little plaza. So it was like all of their like restaurants, and I think like a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General, like further down. Like it was like in the same facility, but it was like kind of further down. It had its own like parking lot that was kind of in a way cut off from us. But I was like, nah. So after I've heard that, I always waited. I always stayed like an extra like 30 minutes because at that point they were like, oh, we can't really have. They don't really want more than one person being there at that time. But I was like, nah. I'm like, I'll stay. Yeah, I'll make sure things are clean and whatnot, and so that way. And after like 30 minutes, I kind of had to go because if not, then I would have gotten in trouble, and A would have gotten in trouble. So I literally, like, after 30 minutes, after, like, making sure everything was done, then I would leave. Which, I still didn't feel good about leaving that person there, even for that last, like, 30 minutes. But I was like, nah. Oh, I had to close near Solo during the holidays. And there was a serial thief that was robbing at gunpoint. I bought my roommate's... What was that? Roommate's cat? Oh, about your roommate's, yeah. Was it Second Amendment? Cause I'm not dealing with that. That's crazy. Yeah, I bought a blicky. Yeah, no, and that's kind of what it wasn't. That it wasn't a serial thief, but like something had happened. And somehow, somewhere in the area of that previous job, thank God I was only there for like not even like maybe a year, like a couple of months. Like maybe it was like almost close to a year, but it was like a couple of months I was there. But yeah, at one point I was like off. I came back the next day and everyone was like freaking out and what's going wild. I'm like, whoa, 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 what's going on? They were like, oh, something happened. Like literally not too far from here. Like something crazy happened. They found a body. I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, it was really crazy. And I'm like, see, that's that shit I'm talking about. And yet they want one person closing the store for the last like hour. I was like, hell nah. I was like, nah, we need to start putting in requests. And like, no, there needs to be two people closing at all time. You cannot be having one person closing. And at one point they tried doing that to me too. Once I got like into like a not a well, I guess like a leadership position to where like I was in charge once the store manager was kind of like gone for the day. Yeah, there were times that they try to have me there by myself for like the last hour, and my family was not about that either. They would when I tell them, oh, this person's leaving at so and so time, they would literally drive. I mean, I wasn't far, thank God, but they were still like, no, that's insane. And this is after this whole like body thing popped up, and they were looking for the. Now that's another thing. They were like looking for the person. They hadn't found the person who had done it, so that person was just like on the loose in the area. We were like, nah, hell no. So yeah, they tried doing that to me a few times where it was just me closing, and I told my family, and they were like, absolutely not. So whenever they were like, let us know when the last person is supposed to leave, we will park and we will wait for you if they are that determined to have you there that last hour. I was like, but they were like, if it's like up to 30 minutes and no one pops up, they were like, close up that store and let's go. They will be fine not getting any customers that last 30 minutes. They're like, you're not risking your life so that you can keep the store open for that last out for that last whole full hour. And they were like, absolutely not. And then I think that I had that a few times. They were like, yeah, no, you need to find another job, something that's not gonna have you. And even if you are closing, there needs to be like multiple people there. Even if it's just one more extra person, there needs to be multiple people there. It cannot just be you. So that's crazy how these jobs do that. And it's like you that's how you put people's lives at risk. People get attacked and all bunch of stuff. It's like, yeah, one, the place isn't huge, so but one that place had like two different uh entrances, and for whatever reason people loved coming. There was like a kind of like the main entrance people more namely came through, but then there was kind of like the quote unquote back entrance that I was not playing with. That one was always closed after a certain time, and it always drove me nuts whenever people would like I would close at a certain time, and then people would still go out that same way. So they would unlock it. I'm not thinking they went out that way, so I'm thinking, where the hell this person disappeared to? Maybe they're just in the bathroom. I go again to like double check once it's like empty, and I see the sun setting. I'm like, oh, what's okay? Let me double check, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. I go, freaking other back door is open, and I'm like, wait a minute, I locked this like an hour ago, and it's like them damn people. Instead of going through the front door that's like right in front of them, for whatever freaking reason, they went to the door that was locked and opened it, but didn't say anything. So I was like, I'm here thinking, oh, that entrance is locked. I just gotta focus on this entrance, and but it's like, no. At one point, I had to tell people, you can't come this way. After a certain point, this area is locked. Either you gotta walk around or you gotta go out this way. But after a certain time, you cannot. Do not open this door. Do not open it. Do not unlock it. If you need to leave, go out the other way. I'm like, now you're putting my life in danger for some donuts and coffee? Hell no. Y'all can kiss my ass. Yeah, it was like a coffee donut shop, pretty much. But I was like, nah, like that point that was pissing me off too. Cause I'm like, now your people, your customers are putting me in danger. Cause I'm trying to make sure my bases are covered. So when y'all try to have me here or whoever here by themselves that last hour, they're not scrambling or they're thinking, oh, this door is locked, but some freaking dumb customer, instead of going out the entrance that's right in front of them, want to walk all the way to the back entrance and open the door that's already locked, and then just leaving it unlocked. Like, you don't know who is gonna just randomly walk by, thinking, I'm thinking it's locked, and then someone come walking through that door. So yeah, at one point, I think I think even at one point I had to like put signs, like a wet sign, and being like, you can't come through this way. You can go to the bathroom, but you can't come through out the rest of the way. You gotta go out the other way. Stop opening this damn door. Like, what the hell's wrong with y'all? And it's like, why would you? And the thing is, that other side where the door was, there wasn't like no chairs, wasn't no seats, wasn't anything over there for you to go out that way. There wasn't even like a way to like park your car. The only way to park your car was the front entrance that we were still keeping open. So it's like, why would you go out that way when you 9 out of 10 gotta circle around to get to your car? I'm like, that makes no sense. Now you're just making extra work for me, making extra work for yourself, and now you're putting me in danger because I'm thinking that entrance is locked, but then you want to open it and be retarded. So I'm like, nah. But I do want a donut now. You know what? I haven't had a donut in a minute. One because I've been using that. I found it on YouTube. It just popped up. The Too Good to Go app that basically you can like go to like bakeries and or places that I mean, it's mostly like bakeries, but you can do like other places like donut shops, bagel places. Some have food Oh, excuse me. Or just places that like have excess food. You can I have it. I haven't used it, but it's just because of timing. That too, I had like downloaded it and then I didn't use it for like a good like almost month until I actually used it. No, this thing is actually really good because I've used it because luckily there's a Krispy Kreme near me. But you know how Krispy Kreme donuts, but Krispy Kreme is an option on that. Ah, see, already caught me. You already caught me. There's a Krispy Kreme that opened up near me. But as you definitely know, them donuts prices are insane. Like now that's like what, 15, $16 for a dozen of glaze, and that's just glaze. If you're trying to get like mix match or maybe one of their new donuts that they have out, them things are almost like 20 bucks. But with that, and it depends on your location too, because near my job there's a Krispy Kreme as well. Damn, near 20 for the special. Yeah, it's like almost like like, well, at least for me, it's like 17, 18, and then that's not including like tax, so it's almost like $20 for that's just a dozen of us like of specialty donuts. That's not even like that's not 2 dozen. That's a dozen. So I'm like, oh hell no. Nah. I haven't bought an actual full price donuts from Krispy Kreme since then, because I've been using this app. I've been using this app. Was I? Oh, right. What I was saying, it depends on your location because the one near me, um, so what they do is they have like a certain amount that they give out for throughout the day. So you kind of gotta be fast. Yeah, like either you gotta do it like early in the day, or if you're lucky, maybe there's like one or two, um, left like at close at night. But I always try to do it at least like somewhere like like in the very beginning of the day, or like in the afternoon if I have the money for it. Um, and the one near me, you can get like a dozen donuts for like $6, $7. So that's a like, and then the thing is with that, it's supposed to be like the donuts they're gonna end up like throwing away. So you could get like different donuts. You can get all glazed because at first I just ended up getting a bunch of of glaze. But after trying the app out a few times, I've gotten frosted. I've gotten some with sprinkles. I've gotten coffee rolls because sometimes they didn't have donuts, but they still wanted to fill like enough donuts, so they just like put in like 2 or 3 coffee rolls or things that kind of taste like cinnamon. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, right. Or sometimes if they still had some of the specialty donuts, they throw some of those specialty donuts in there. So that's how I've tried the last 3 specialty donuts that they've had. That whole movie theater theme that they've done. What was the last one? Oh, the Pop Tart one. Yeah, as long as it isn't chocolate or strawberry, I'm set. You could get all glaze. Cause the first few times I've done it, I just got straight glaze. But that's I think it just depends, I guess, on how many donuts they have at that time, what they have left. Yeah, you could literally just get a whole box of glaze. You can get mix. You can get some of the specialty ones. You can get some of the sprinkles, some of the frosted ones. But it really just depends on what they have, and I think it also depends on the location too, because the one near me, that's the one I've gotten the specialty donuts from. The one closest to my home, they've never given me the specialty donuts. They've given me glaze and they've given me all the other ones, but they've never given me the special. I think they maybe have once, and it was only like one of them. They didn't give me like a whole set like like the one near my job. Um, and also what I was saying, it depends on the price too, because the one near me, they offer theirs for like $6, $7, but the one near my job they offer theirs, like you can get a dozen for them for like $5. So it's crazy. Like I don't know why the app popped up. I'm glad I got it when I did. I'm glad I tried it when I did. So now whenever me and my family are craving some donuts, they literally turn to me and they're like, "Hey, is there any donuts left on the thing? Let's get us some donuts." And literally get it for like half price at that place. But I've funny enough, I've only ever tried it with the Krispy Kreme. But I do have some other places that I want to try it. There's this bagel place I want to try too. There's even pizza places that pop up. There's a bunch of bakeries. There's some restaurants on here too. There's like a smoothie place that, and it looks like they're always adding. Cause there's like there's like this salad place that popped up near me. More donut places. This one looks like a full on like, I don't even know what type of restaurant this is. Gourmet food in a box for people. Huh. I don't know. I've never heard of this place, but I've seen what's that store people like? It's at Whole Foods. Is it Whole Foods? I think I've seen like Whole Foods on here. I've seen other corner stores. I've seen 7-Eleven. Um, I wish more places did that for the ones near me. Only big options we have is Whole Food, and that has gone quick. Oh, and then I said Whole Foods. Yeah, that one's popped up a few times. Only a few times. I think that one be going by really fast too. I've only ever seen that one like maybe since I've started actually actively using the app. I think I've seen that maybe like 4 or 5 times, and I've been using this app for like a good couple of months now. So, yeah, I've seen Whole Foods pop up, and it looks like that's pretty popular too, because that's gone in like a heartbeat. I see IKEA pop up in here sometimes. Yeah, see Whole Foods sold out for tomorrow. Another location sold out. Like, good God, I've never tried Whole Foods, so I don't know how good. Like people have hyped it up. People go above and beyond for it, but I've never tried it myself. One, because I don't have one kind of near me. Even the ones that popped up here, they're a good couple of ways. Yeah, this one says it's pretty far. I mean, it is based off your location, so you can like spread out and find other places. But no, I really do love that app. It saved me so much because there's no way I would have been able to buy as many donuts as I have since without that app. Because the only time I've ever bought Krispy Kreme donuts from the place that opened up like at their kind of full price was that they had this deal like you buy a dozen and you get like a dozen free, or you get it for like $1 or something. It was like some weird deal they were doing. That was the only time I ever bought their donuts like full price. Ever since then, I saw the app. I've been using that to get it. So, not sponsored, but definitely that's a really good app. So whoever came up with that app is really good. About the only times I buy that way, pretty much, because I'm not I don't ever actually go and buy their things full price, because it's like, why would I do that when I can get a dozen or 2 dozen donuts for the price of one of your full thing of the like well your full price pretty much, and maybe even cheaper because I've gotten like also I'm not sure what the limit is for that too, because at one point I think maybe also depends on the location, because one time it told me I could only get up to 2, but there was still more that like people could get. So it like limit me at 2, but one time I did it almost by accident, and it almost had me get 3, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I don't need 3, but I was like, okay, so maybe it just depends. But yeah, no, not sponsored, but the Too Good to Go app is a very, very good app. Whoever came up with that was very, pretty much like a genius, pretty much, because, excuse me, they knew what they were doing with that app. That app has saved me so much money. And I do want to try the other places too. What else? What else have I? Oh, actually, and I've continued on. It's Chocomania right now. Nope, not gonna get it. Yeah, you say you're not really a chocolate fan, so you probably won't like the new chocolate donuts they have out. Actually, I haven't seen them myself, so I know like Krispy Kreme. Oh, oh, here it is. Oh, there you brought me over to uh their Twitter. Oh, actually, no. I think I have the app, so I think I did see this pop up. Now through March 26th, Chocomania dozen for only $9.99. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Oh my god, I needed that. But I want to see what the donuts. I mean, I see them in here on the picture, but I want to actually know like what are the donuts. Okay, I'm on their website. So it's three. There's the Hershey chocolate chip cookie donut, the Hershey's chocolate buttercream donut. Oh, it's four. Wait, is it four? Oh yeah, it is four. So the Hershey's chocolate chip cookie donut, the Hershey's chocolate salted caramel cheesecake donut. That's probably this one. Hershey's chocolate buttercream donut, and Hershey's classic chocolate donut. Okay, so I think this is that. That's that. That's that. And that is that. Interesting. So it's four. That's a lot of chocolate. As someone who likes chocolate, that's a lot of chocolate. Um. Mm, 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 mm. I think I probably would want to try the chocolate chip cookie one. And then like the plain classic. I don't know how the buttercreamed one. I don't know. I've never really been a fan of like creamed donuts. It depends. There's this one I got. I can't remember what it was. That the inside didn't taste. It tasted more like frosting than like the cream they normally put in donuts. So that one I was kind of okay with, but even that was a lot. But yeah, that's a lot of chocolate. I'm not gonna lie. As someone who likes chocolate, that's a lot of chocolate. And it's like every couple of like weeks they're coming out with like actually not every week, like every month they're coming out with like new donut designs or something or a new one they're trying to promote. I could never. That's the thing. The previous place, one of the jobs I had was a donut place, and oh my goodness, that's another thing with them that's really dangerous. That we were able to take donuts home that weren't gonna sell and they were gonna throw it away. So, and the thing is, you had to pay for it. So if there was any donuts that was left over that you wanted, you could take. And that was one. At first, that was like a real big perk for me and my family. We were like, "Oh, cool, we get free donuts," you know. And sometimes they were still like really good, really soft. Oh, that's another thing. At least so far for me, every time I've used the Too Good to Go app to get donuts from Krispy Kreme, they've always been like really soft, freshly made. Not, well, maybe not freshly made, but still like relatively new donuts. They weren't ones that's literally been there, been made since like that morning. And as someone who's worked in a donut shop, I do see what they do sometimes. If they need to make, if they ever run out, they do make more. But they do have like a set amount that they kind of have already like set and made for the day. But if they need to, they can make more, or have like more delivered depending on where it is. I know some places don't make them. I think they just have it delivered. But there are some. I think maybe it's both. Maybe they have some that's delivered, and then others can do both. But the one I had, I think had it. I think that one was both. I think they had some that were like straight up like sent and delivered to them, and then and then they had a way to like make more if they have like sold out or there's like a big deal or a coupon going out and they needed more donuts. They could make their own. But yeah, that was one of the things that we were able to take donuts home, and at one point they everyone had gotten like so like pretty much was like donut out. They didn't want any more donuts. They were like, listen, We, we appreciate it. They helped out when they could. Kind of having something sweet in the house. But they were like, we need like a good like 6 month break of donuts. We don't need any more donuts. And I always and felt bad, because I was just like, well, they're just sitting here. Even, and I don't know if this was something that they did, but excuse me, at all places. But the one I was at, even if you had somehow, even if you, let's say you ran out of the ones that were sent to us, and we had to make more, at the night, they would still want those like thrown away. And I'm like, wait a minute, we just made these around like 5 o'clock. These are still pretty good donuts. Why would we throw them away? I'm like, that's such a waste. And we weren't able to, and we weren't allowed to like give them out. We had to just throw them away and throw them in the trash. And I'm like, that is such a waste. So maybe whoever made the app like maybe noticed that. Maybe they worked in the previous like donut place or something, saw how much was being wasted, or worked in like food, saw how much food was being wasted, and they were like, nah, there should be a way to like to reduce that. That's crazy. I was always like, that is wild that they would just throw away even like really like relatively really good like just made a couple of hours ago donuts, and just would want them thrown away. Um, cause sometimes they would keep them, but most of the times they would like just throw them away and just wait for like the new shipment to come in or make more in the morning. I'm like, that's such a waste. That's such a waste. So at one point, I was just handing out donuts to my family. I would go to one family's house, give them a box of donuts. I go to someone else, giving them a box of donuts. I'm like, hey, you got some friends? Take a box of donuts. I have a family member who's a teacher. I was like, here, take a box to your school, give it out to your kids. I was like, a reward or something. Yeah, I was a freaking donut girl. But yeah, I think at one point everybody was like just donut out. They couldn't. They were done. They were like, we need a good like couple of months of just no more donuts in the house. But oh my goodness. Good times. You know what? Especially since the fact that my throat's been getting to me. I think I'll cut today short. Again, I am so sorry. I'll figure out what's going on. Maybe it was like you said, Ghost Body. Maybe the whole whatever thing is causing these games to have issues. I think that might be kind of it because, oh, excuse me. Whatever's doing this is only affecting admin mode. Yeah, that's what it was, admin mode. Whatever it is only affecting the Wuthering Waves, because whenever I do any other game, I've never had that issue. So I'll look more into that, figure out what's going on. I think I'm gonna go. My throat's starting to really get to me, so I want to give it a bit of a break. Like I said, I am feeling better, but I definitely don't want to push it to the fact that I wake up. When you select OBS, right click and start it admin. Oh, okay. See, that's that's another thing. Someone who's been VTubing for so long, there's still so much I don't know. So much new things I'm still learning about this. Some things I could do to make my streams better and make them run smoother. You know what? And knowing me, my crazy self, I'll probably end up forgetting. So I'm going to actually write down what you just said, and I'll keep it right here on my desk. Select OBS, right click, and start in admin. Alright, yeah. Yeah, I think my throat's pretty much telling me, go lay down. You was already not feeling well, don't need to push it. But, yeah. But, thank you so much. Sorry again that the game didn't load like it's supposed to. Oh, I'll just drop one more thing. I've been continuing on actually watching Ruby too. Since I did that last chatting stream when I just talked about Ruby. I said I couldn't really remember anything past like volume 5. I knew like bits and pieces here and there, but I had actually just finished watching volume 9. And one, I don't know why I stopped watching this show. it was so good. So much has happened. So many things have just been ups and downs for them and like characters and what's been going on in the world. So I can't wait for Volume 10 to come out. I don't know when. I think they said they're working on it, but there's not like a set date. So I do maybe want to come back and maybe do a part 2 of Ruby, especially now that I have more memory. But I have a fresh memory of what's happened after Volume 5, because I remember watching it straight up to Volume 5, but then like I was missing bits and pieces of like Volume 6, 7, 8, and then I actually had never really watched 9 in its full capacity, and I actually had just finished it. It totally got me into why I really loved this show when it started. But yeah, that's it for me tonight, you guys. Hopefully I'll have everything kind of up ready to go for tomorrow, so we can continue on with some Weathering Waves. Thank you again. Remember, I do summer stream here on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, so you can check me out on either or. I'm gonna head out, give my throat some rest, maybe get me some more orange juice. Everyone have a great night, day, evening, wherever you are, and I'll see you guys next time. Night, everyone. Bye. Excuse me.